What up, world? Established Rich coming right back at you. Ladies and gentlemen, I need to address something that is both baffling and disturbing. I'm talking about Ciara and I'm talking about Russell Wilson. And we're talking about Future's son, his birth son. His name is Future Zahir Wilburn. Let me say that again. Wilburn. That's his biological name, his bloodline. And yet now we hear his name is being amended to Future Wilburn Wilson. And I gotta be honest, I do not agree with this. Ciara, you married Russell Wilson. Your son didn't. So why in the world is his last name being changed? Why are you attaching another man's name to this boy?
Ciara's son with rapper Future is legally a Wilson. The singer added Russell Wilson's last to her eldest son's legal name. Ciara and Russ hit the US Open this week with their kids, but when Russ posted a shot of Ciara and their family from the stands with the caption, Mrs. Ciara Wilson, Future Wilson, and Sienna Wilson, fans zeroed in on the fact Future Zahir's last name was written as Wilson, sparking speculation Russell had adopted him. Ciara has full custody of her 11-year-old, and Wilson was legally added to his name a few years back. He still has his dad Future's last name Wilburn in his full legal name. Ciara and Russ married 9 years. Parents to 3 other kids looked all smiles courtside. As for Future, he stayed quiet.
Let me break this down. Last names matter. Last names are bloodlines. They are history. They are identity. They are legacy. This is his birthright. This is his father's lineage. Whether you like Future or not, whether you think he's present or not, he is still that boy's father, and the last name should be his. I'm not saying Russell is not a good stepfather. I'm not saying he hasn't been present. I gave Russell his props. I applauded him for stepping up, for taking responsibility, for loving another man's child like his own. But this is where I draw the line. Allowing a last name change, allowing his last name to become Wilson, now we crossing into dangerous territory. Now we're blurring lines that should never be blurred. Because let me ask you this. What boy in his right mind wants to carry another man's name? You tell me. What happens when he realizes his name was changed because his mama married somebody else? What kind of confusion is that? Listen to me, this is not about pettiness. This ain't about Ciara versus Future. This is about a boy's identity. And quite frankly, it's about respect. Respect for the bloodline. Respect for the name he was born with. And respect for the father that gave it to him. Whether Future is perfect is besides the point. You do not erase a man's name. You do not give it away. You do not change it. I'm disappointed in Ciara. And I'm disappointed in Russell Wilson, because even if Ciara wanted to do it, Russell should have said no. He should have stood up and said, that's not my place. That's not my blood. I can be a stepfather. I can be a role model. I can be a mentor. I can be his second dad. But his last name is his last name, and I ain't gonna touch it. But he didn't do that. He let it happen. He sat back and co-signed it. And now the boy's name is being split in half. Future Wilburn Wilson. Are you kidding me? What does that even look like on a jersey? What does that even look like on a report card? What does that look like on a resume years from now? How many questions is this boy gonna have to answer? And let me address the community, because this is where it gets serious. We live in a time where people think this kind of stuff is normal. They think it's just cute. They think it's romantic. They think it's about blending families. This is about identity. And if we keep playing with bloodlines like this, if we keep changing names for the sake of relationships, we're going to lose respect for our legacy, and we're going to lose respect for our family. I'm not saying Russell ain't a great man. I'm not saying he hasn't provided. But there's a line you do not cross, and this is that line. A man can be present. A man can be loving. A man can be a second father. But he is still not the father. And giving that boy his last name is a slap in the face to his bloodline, to his heritage, to his father. Now, some will argue, but Future isn't there. Future don't do enough. That's a different conversation, a separate debate. You can question his presence. You can question his parenting, but you cannot question his bloodline. You cannot question his name. And that name belongs to his son, no matter what. This move was wrong, plain and simple. And the fact that people are trying to defend it shows just how far we have fallen with our values. This ain't just about one boy. This is about a principle. You do not erase blood. You do not erase the father. And you do not play with legacy under any circumstances. CC, you was wrong for this. And Russell, you was wrong for co-signing. And the community, we need to wake up, because this should not be celebrated. This is about respect. And respect matters. Always has, always will. But hey, that's just my opinion. What's yours? Like, comment, subscribe, Established Rich. I'll be back with another one. Peace.